Story. I was born in Jamaica, and when I was 12 years old, I said to my mother, I wanted to be a lawyer. And she said, lawyers did not go to heaven. So I chose a heaven-worthy profession, which was nursing. And so I went to nursing school in Jamaica, and then I went to England and I studied midwifery. And then I was recruited to the United States in the 70s. And I then went to law school at University of Florida. So that is part of the journey that I bring to you tonight. 2010, I was watching CNN and I saw a piece called Rape as a Weapon of War. It was an Anderson Cooper piece, and it told the horrific story of the women of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And I started crying because I'd never heard that story before. 2 million women raped. And the part of the story that got to me, the rape was horrific, but what got to me is the fact that they developed fistulas. And the person that was telling the story about the fistulas and the fistula repair was Dr. Dennis McQuakey. Next morning, I called Harvard and I spoke to the doctor, and in 2 months, I was on my way to the Congo, to a continent that I'd never gone to a country not my own, to a language that I didn't speak, but I knew that I had to do something. And I flew in through Rwanda, stayed overnight in a monastery there. And I remember Father saying to me that they pray like at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I said, Father, you don't understand this. My church in Miami starts at 10 o'clock and I'm late every day. So we're not doing the 5 o'clock prayer, right? And we drove over into the Congo. We got to Bukavu. And I realized why the State Department says don't go to Congo, because I ended in the middle of a war. And I remember my friend, another lawyer friend, went with me, and she said, you know, I got more life insurance. And I'm like, not now, right? And so I met with the women who'd been raped there, and I sat with them and I heard their stories. And then I took a boat over Lake Kivu, beautiful lake, and I went to Bukavu. And there I met Dennis McQuakey, the amazing doctor that was doing all the fistula repair. And I was absolutely in awe of him and the work he was doing. And then we went up into the mountains, and the doctors took us up into the mountain area, and as we round, and that is taking us through rebel territory, M23. It's a journey that we knew that we might not come back, but we had to go. We had to go meet these women, because that's where they were. And as we round the corner, we saw several hundred women, maybe about 300 women. And I thought, oh, they're having a market or something. And the doctor said, I said, oh, they're having a market. And he says, no, they're here for you. And it dawned on me that these women had walked about 2 days to come see somebody they'd never met before. And I cried. And I met with the women, and where we were was an area where several years ago, they buried like 13 persons alive. And I met with them, and we sat there and we exchanged stories. And the reason why I always say yes when someone asks me to come and speak about the work we do or to tell the story is because I promised these women that I would tell their story. So I am here for them today to tell you their story. And we were taken in for questioning by the United Nations. We've been taken in for questioning by the rebels. I remember that day as we were coming down the mountains, we saw 6 dead bodies on the road. There was a massacre on the village. And for years, I took nurses and doctors to the Congo, and we talked. we taught women and the doctors and the nurses and the traditional birth attendants how to do better deliveries. And we sent thousands of clean birthing kits to the traditional birth attendants because they were delivering on the bare ground in the rainforest. And for years we did that. Now what we love to do is we're in Ghana. And when I said to you that folks in Ghana, they're nice, I'm going to say it again. They're really, really nice. And we partner with a university there called Wisconsin International University. And we take nurses, we send nurses and doctors, professors, and we help train and we help beef up their curriculum. So I was there in September. I spoke and worked with them in Accra, and then I took a flight over to Kumasi, and we trained there and we worked there. Next month, I have a professor from a university in Canada that we now have a partnership with the university in Canada to help working with that university there. We're also going to have a partnership with University of Florida to help train, to help write the curriculum. I have a store in DeLand called Desert Sage. We have amazing teas and candles and all like that. 15% of all the proceeds go to that work. You all are invited April 26th, where we do literary jazz brunch, and women are coming from all over, and all the proceeds will go to provide scholarship for women to go to midwifery school. We provide, thank you, we provide 100% of the scholarship for them for 4 years. For 4 years, that's $10,000, and we provide 100% for them. That 60 minutes I saw that night changed my life forever. And I knew that I could not go back to being the person that I was because Africa needed me. And as children of the diaspora, we are of that age where we must give back. They said that we must give back. And generosity is contagious, right? And you give from what you have. You give the 3 T's, your time, your talent, and your treasure. There are 822 billion people on this earth. 1.2 is in Africa, and most of those people are young. So that is a great nation to come, and we can certainly be a part of that. I have gone to Somaliland in the middle of Ebola and trained there for an amazing woman called Edna Adan. So, Africa has just amazing, amazing people done well. Wangari Maathai has planted millions of trees for Kenya. You and I can do one act of kindness. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be just about anything. Remember, to be kind means that you have to be vulnerable. To be kind means that you do what you can and you do it from your heart. So that is the message I share with you. That is my story. And when you go to South Africa, there's a writing on the airport there. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, we go together. So I extend a hand to you and I say to you, do what you can for Mother Africa. Because when you do that, the kindness does a lot for us. It reduces tension, it reduces blood pressure, it reduces stress, it releases oxytocin, and it makes the giver gets more than the receiver. So on behalf of the women of the Congo and on behalf of Ghana, Ubuntu.
Can you tell us more about this event on April 26th. Where is
Sure.
it going to be at?
Sure, I have postcards for you, and it has QR codes, so you're going to be able to do that. But the beautiful thing, it's going to be in a little town called Deland, right north of here. It's going to be at the Athens Theater. It's a literary jazz brunch. It brings authors and jazz together, but we start with the brunch outside the theater because it's a historic theater, so it doesn't have a vestibule to house a brunch. So we're blocking off the road, we're blocking off Indiana. One of the restaurants there will cater, but the beautiful thing about it is that we're gonna have beautiful white tent